Skip, were you surprised by the comeback?
I was all-time shocked by that comeback. I thought the Thunder I had picked were done at halftime when they trailed 56-41 to a team that had won 32 of its last 39 games, a team that looked vastly superior to the Oklahoma City Thunder, whose offense had degenerated right on cue into 3 disconnected solo acts. Is it your turn or my turn to shoot another forced-up shot? Oh, why don't you shoot a 4-shot, and then I'll shoot a 4-shot. So, with 8:34 left in the third quarter, somebody named Jay Crowder hit his 6th three-point shot of the night. Do you remember Jay Crowder, Shannon Sharpe?
I do.
He's an ex-Cavalier. I think LeBron had no use for him, and I immediately tweeted, maybe LeBron is starting to miss Jay Crowder and Dwayne Wade at this point. But Jay Crowder hit his 6th three, and that made it 71-46, and Billy Donovan called an angry timeout, and I was about ready to say, I'm going to cash it in for the night. I'm just going to go to sleep. Maybe I'll get 5 hours instead of 4 hours of sleep. And guess what? A Russell Westbrook, who at that point was 3 for 16 in this series from the three-point line, that's a grand total of 19%, he finally made a 3. Okay, no big deal. And 30 seconds later, he made another 3. And then a couple of minutes later, he made another 3. And he finally made his 4th 3 of just that third quarter, and it tied the game. They went on a 32-7 run, and I must give credit to a guy who's not George Paul today. He is Paul George. That's the new sidekick. That's the better Oladipo for Russell Westbrook. That was playoff P, because he was special P in that third quarter. And Russell Westbrook, the all-time warrior that he is, he just willed his team in front of the home crowd right back into that game. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that on degree of difficulty against a team that was dominating you, and all of a sudden, it was reeling right before your very eyes. Utah looked inept because Russ shot them right in the heart. Took their hearts on that night. We'll see if they can have some open heart surgery before Friday night. We'll see how that goes. But in the end, it was a do-or-die win for the Thunder, and they lived thanks mostly to Russell Westbrook just saying, not in my house.
I see your shock, and I'll raise you 2 shocks. I'm extremely, very, very shocked that they were able to do this.
Okay.
Skip, we just saw last year, James Harden is still trying to dig out from a game similar to this. Remember what happened with San Antonio without Kawhi? In James Harden's building. Yep. James Harden is still trying to get out from under that avalanche.
He is.
If Russell Westbrook had lost this game in the fashion that it looked like they were going to lose, Russell Westbrook next year would be still trying to dig out of this onslaught. For them to come back because they show no... What would ever make you think, after watching these last 3 games, what would have ever made you think that they had that in them to come back?
Yeah.
I didn't see it. But Russ got going. But even when Russ got going, he needed somebody to come along with him. Carmelo, I don't know what Carmelo lunching. I don't know what Carmelo got going on, Skip.
You know, for the most part of this run, Carmelo was on the bench.
Yes.
Carmelo was on the bench.
Yes.
Yikes. Jeremy Grant was in the game.
And Paul George got it going. Because then in the fourth quarter, Russ turns it over to Paul George. Paul George starts bringing the ball up. Let me get some of this, Russ. Yep. And what happened was Donovan Mitchell, I know he's young, but he's their scorer. And for him to try to guard Russell on one end then try to come back and get buckets on the other, Skip, you're asking an awful lot. I know he's 21, but, Skip, that's a lot of energy you got to expel to try to guard that guy.
And to be fair, we do need to acknowledge the elephant in the room, who was the 7'1" elephant on the bench. Rudy Gobert got in huge foul trouble during this third quarter stretch. Yep. He got his 3rd foul with 11:03 left in the third, and then he gets his 4th foul with 9:23 left, and then he gets his 5th foul with 3:46 left in the third quarter, and he's gone for effectively another quarter until mid-4th quarter. Yep. And again, Russ was still doing most of his damage from the three-point line, which is not characteristic of him. But once no Gobert is there, the floodgates open to the rim. And all of a sudden, especially Paul George.
He's like,
no more
it's like a layup line.
Yep. And Yet, at the end, Donovan Mitchell, and you know how much I love Donovan Mitchell, as he walked off the floor, he yelled to some of the heckling Thunder fans, "We'll see you next year." That means
we ain't coming back for Game 7.
Game 7.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
We not.
So now that those words left Donovan Mitchell's lips, I'm wondering if they will be to the Thunder what Russ said about Rubio was to the Jazz for Game 5 in Utah. Will that somehow ignite and motivate the Thunder going back to Utah? It might.
The question is, Skip, do you feel more comfortable if they're, let's just say for the sake of argument, there is a Game 7. Do you feel more comfortable with Utah winning a Game 7 on OKC's floor or OKC winning Game 6 on Utah's floor?
Well, obviously, I picked the Thunder, so I need them both. Right? I mean, I don't care.
But I would feel I don't think they're coming back for Game 7 either. Okay. I don't believe.
Well, the odds are certainly in your favor if Gobert just stays eligible. If he doesn't get 5 fouls in the third quarter.
And the thing is, I'm trying to figure out how he's getting all these fouls. Skip. Steven Adams had 6 points. Yeah. and 6 rebounds.
Okay, I know. Melo drew the first foul, so we got to give Melo credit for that. That was the third foul in the third quarter. And then Paul George got the second one, and then
he hooked Abrinas.
So it was an offensive foul. So Russ didn't get any of the draw any of the fouls on Gobert.
But Russ played well, but he gets like this. He gets phonetic, Skip. But think about it now. He only scored 6 more points than shots he took. He took 39. Let that sink in. He took 39 shots.
He did.
I know a guy had 44 points on 24 shots. But, George, that's none of my business. I don't even know why I brought it up.
But Russ only took 6 free throws and made all 6. LeBron got 15 free throws.
15.
That referee loved them some LeBron last night, didn't they?
I guarantee you.
They protected him. They protected Kyle Korver. They protected
If that was James Harden, he'd have had 23 free throws.
Maybe. I'll give you that on James. But look, Russ only had 6 free throws. So
LeBron ain't only made 1 3. And he ain't take up no 39 shots.
Nope.
Imagine if he took 39 shots, how many points he'd had. What you think, Skip, 70?
Okay, the truth is, if I just showed you this box score and you didn't know what had happened, you'd say the Jazz won this game. But what you don't know is that the Thunder went on a 32-7 run in the third quarter. And you don't know that the Thunder won the second half 66-43. Well, the stats are skewed because they were so bad for a half, and then they were so great, they kind of balance out. But it looks bad that he took 39 shots because in the first half, he was awful.
Yeah, it happens. But, hey, give him credit. But I tend to agree with Donovan Mitchell.
Okay. Well, I hope Russ is watching right now, and I think he might be.
Can I get some due on that?
And I hope Paul George is watching.
Can I get... No. Oh, now you want to call the man by his name.
Paul George.
No, call him what he is, Skip.
He's playoff P. I love this man.
No, I don't want to be disrespectful, Joe. I don't want to come off as disrespectful. Yeah. But he is a complimentary superstar.
Well, he is that.
Oh, I hope
you think he's better than Russell Westbrook?
That's not what we're arguing. You called the man George Paul. You called him complimentary. Now you want him to come up short big for you.
Don't have him as your solo star up against the beast of the East, LeBron James. Don't do that.
I mean, you do remember.
Yeah.
Harden, Russ, KD, Serge Ibaka. Bron took them all down.
Yeah.
Put them over, had them all.
Yeah.
Sitting on his knee, spanking them.
I'm starting to feel sorry for Bron because I'm fearing that he is going to get to the Eastern Conference Finals against the new beasts of the East.
Stop.
Sixers.
Stop.
Whew.
Stop.
Or should I call them the 78ers? They hung 78 on LeBron in the first half. 78?
And still on
the Philadelphia 78ers.
Hung 78 and won by 2.
Huh. Interesting.
Now, you're talking about
because of what? How did they...
It would have been overtime.
Wait,
there was no pressure. There was no pressure, remember?
There's
only pressure to win the game.
LeBron had to make 3 free throws just to get to overtime. That's pressure.
No.
That's excruciating.
No.
That's do or die.
You just told me there was no pressure on LeBron taking that 3 because at worst case scenario, they go into overtime.
Okay, but that game wasn't tied. They were down 3. If the game had been tied,
no pressure,
and LeBron had 3 free throws to make 1 to win, okay.
I know he's capable of that. I knew this
I think he'd do that.
Do what?
He'd make 1 out of 3 to win the game.
No, but
he needed to make 3 of 3 to tie the game to send it to overtime. And predictably, LeBrick,
What I try not to do is I really try not to go too far backwards because I'm really trying to move ahead, Joy. And if you keep going back...
Joy, we went all the way back to Craig Elo. That's how far back we went. Craig Elo?
I mean, how many times LeBron got to hit a shot or walk off?
Huh?
I mean,
how many times?
You told me it's
we're about to do that.
No, you told me, this is what you told me, Skip. You told me if there's time on the clock, it's not a walk-off. The man, there's no time. On this shot, he did one against the... George, you remember that one against the Pacers in 2013?
It was a layup. It was a layup.
So they don't count those as shots?
Yeah. And by the way, most of his points last night were just layups.
What? See?
Well, they were just layups.
I told you
am I right?
What I said, I know you.
Am I right?
I know you. I knew what you was going to do.
But Nate McMillan's just saying, you know what? Put anybody on him. Let him shoot layups. It was a layup drill. So he got 44 mostly on layups.
And guess what, Nate?
He made 2 shots outside.
And guess what Nate's going to be saying Friday night?
Yeah.
We had a great season. Yeah. That's an all-time great player over there. Yeah. They deserve to win. That's what he's going to be saying on Friday night. Ain't no Mike.
Yeah, we'll see.
No, I don't need to see. I foretold.
You foretold of this?
What you foretold of a blowout last night?
Well, I said it would be a blowout if Kevin Love gave me 20. That's what I said.
Oh, so you hinged it on poor Kevin Love.
Now he's poor Kevin. You what, Skip?
You know who doesn't have any help? Lance Stevenson. He needs some help. He didn't get any help from Oladipo or Carlson or anybody else.
You do know JR. How many points? Skip, can you tell me how many JR had? Now, I played 0 minutes, and he and I had the same amount of points.
Really? Huh.
33 minutes gave you 0. Kevin Love, how many minutes Kevin Love played? Kevin Love played almost 38 minutes. 2 of 11, had 11 points. What am I supposed to do with that, Skip?
Help me out. Victor Oladipo played 40 minutes. How many points did he have?
12, which was more than Kevin Love.
But what did he shoot from the field?
2 for 15.
2 for 15.
Darren Collison had 4 more points than JR.
Oh, okay. Well, that's 4 total.
Oh, yeah. More than JR.
Yeah.
So those two outscored Kevin Love and JR.
Well, either way, Friday night is big night. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.